When Dutch was brought to our shelter, he was very clearly in need of emergency medical care, and very quickly upon exam, it was clear to see that he had some decaying tissue around his leg and that he was going to require an emergency amputation in order to save his life.
Front leg amputations can be a little bit more difficult because we have something called the brachial plexus underneath the armpit that has all the nerves and a lot of blood vessels that communicate with the leg. So you have to kind of take your time and get through all these nerves and make sure you're doing a good job. If not, the animal can have some permanent pain, and also it could bleed out if you don't do a good job.
When matted fur becomes so severely matted that it's matted to the skin, it can cut off circulation and lead to dying or necrotic tissue, like in the case of Dutch.
He can become septic, which the whole system is infected, and the dog can die of a secondary infection. So these kind of cases are critical. So luckily, we have a good team. We went in there and took care of all those major nerves and all those major vessels, closed it up nice. We were happy that we were able to help Dutch in that way.
With the amputation, Dutch was going to require at minimum 2 to 3 weeks in a foster home for recovery, and additionally needing to wait on a dental surgery and recover from that, it did add an additional 3 to 4 weeks of foster time needed.
I said, okay, we'll grab him at least, even if I just get him out of the shelter long enough till you get another foster. So we picked him up right after surgery, brought him home, and he was able to recover with us for a week. It's important to just follow the vet instructions as far as painkillers, antibiotics, making sure that they get the medication. As he's recovering, we had to monitor kind of how much activity he was doing, just to make sure that he didn't do too much, but yet getting him up and moving.
So we actually picked up Dutch immediately after his dental surgery. He had to get all of his teeth removed, and he was fine kind of on his 3 legs by the time we got him. He didn't have any issues with that, so he had adjusted really quickly. And I think one of the most fun things is, you know, when a dog loses all their teeth, they don't really have anything to hold their tongue in anymore. And so more and more you just see his tiny little tongue kind of bleeping out of the corners of his mouth and sticking out, and that was really adorable. I think the hardest thing for him is he loved to play. He especially loved fetch. And he had this one ball that he loved more than anything else, and it was a little too big for him, so once he lost all his teeth, he couldn't actually pick it up anymore. And so we had to like find things that he could kind of fetch or modify toys a little bit so that he could actually pick them up again. He was such a charismatic dog. Like, he's just one of those dogs, you see him and you like want to pet him and you want to get to know him. And every single person I walked that dog past was like, I need to meet this dog. And he wanted to meet them too. Like, he just loved meeting people.
The adoption team seems very good at kind of setting people up for success. It was nice. She was very excited. We were very excited.
Once you know that they're adopted and they're in a place and they're loved, it's just like, okay, I can move on and worry about the next dog. It's the final closure.
Dutch was a very sweet, feisty little man, and I'm really proud of him for overcoming everything he went through and being able to get himself adopted into such a great home.